Hi friends, my name is Jis Peter. Currently, I'm working on a project for the data science and machine learning internship, which I am working with the Spark Foundation Singapore. This internship I am doing as a part of the GRIP January 2021 batch for the Spark Foundation. So in this video, I'm trying to explain the task 7, wherein I have tried to do a market prediction using the numerical and textual analysis. I have used Python as language. Okay. So let me go to the problem statement first, then I will come to the solution. So the problem statement is uh, we had to do a prediction for the stock market price based on the historical data. Then we had to do it and textual analysis. Okay. The, ob the objective of this task is to create a hybrid model of stock price performance prediction using a numerical analysis of historical stock price. Then we had to do a sentiment analysis using the data given over here. So we have two input given. One is the historical stock price from finance.yahoo.com. Then we have to download data from the Times of India, the headlines. So by using these two, we have to do the proper analysis. Now let me take you back to the solution which I have prepared. So here I have explained the first two steps. I have explained the overall task and what we are supposed to do. And if you look at here, you have the historical stock price as well as the data available. If you click on this link, you will be able to go and see. You'll get the link to download the data. So this is news India news headline CSV, which is around 226 MB. Okay, so I already downloaded to locally. Then I have completed my task. So I will take you through the solution first. So in order to do this activity, first thing we have to, whenever we start with any machine learning model, first thing what we have to do is we have to import all the libraries. So I have imported all the necessary libraries. If you look at here, what you can see is that Yahoo Finance is one of the library which we have used. This is mainly to get the data correct directly, properly. Then we have tried to take almost 20 years of 19-20 years of data, and we are filtering out Microsoft, Yahoo, like that, few basic things. Okay, so if you look at this in data, what you can see is that you have 4 columns, 5 columns: high, low, open, close, volume, adjust. Okay, the close and all those information. Okay, and then if you look at this, what you can see is that this is going to be a time series data. Okay, now we can do further analysis of the data. Then data analysis we have to do. As a part of data analysis, we are trying to see if any null values are there. Then one good thing what we have observed is that there is no null values for any of the columns. So in that case, that means one step in the data and pre-processing, one step got reduced. Like we don't have to deal with null values. Then we are seeing the mean value. Then we are trying to see what is the total number of records. So what we can see is that around 5,000 rows are there and 6 columns. Now we had to do some sort of data visualization to see how the closing field looks like. So what we can see is that you have basically we have done a histogram. So this histogram gives an overall idea about how the data looks in this. Okay, but again it's better to have a better plot. So this plot gives an overall idea about how the data is structured. So what you can see is that you can have the data starting from 2000 through 2020. So that stock price is initially it was high, then it went down, and again it was fluctuating, then it went up and up. Okay, so by using this data we had to do some sort of time series analysis. Then we had to fit to some model, then we had to do a prediction, then we had to do sentiment analysis. That is the overall task. So I have tried a scatter plot. Then now next step we have to go with first thing. Now what we have to do is that we have to find out whether the data given is stationary or not. For that we will rely on the augmented Decay test Then we will assign a null hypothesis and we'll go with an alternate hypothesis. For the null hypothesis, we are assuming like the series have a unit root. For alternate hypothesis, we are assuming like there is no such root. So now we have to use this run this artful test. Then we have to find out whether the data is stationary or not. So now we are just running this artful test. Then we are plotting the output. When we plot the output, what we can see is that uh, the rolling mean, this is not this is going up, increasing gradually, right? Then again, if you look at the p-value, the p-value is 1. So if the p-value was less than 0.5, we could have rejected the null hypothesis. Now the p-value is 1, which is above 0.05. That means we cannot reject the null hypothesis. But again, the mean is going up, right? So that clearly indicates that our data is not stationary. Okay. So that gives an overall idea that this is non-stationary data. We can go with some sort of time series information analysis accordingly. Now we are trying to plot the data and see if we can get any other updates, any other inference. Then again, we are going with moving average, standard deviation and moving average we are plotting. Then next step what we have to do is that since we know that this is not stationary data, we have to deal accordingly. We are trying to split the data into training and testing data. Then we are trying to plot on how the data looks like after the splitting. So the data which you are seeing here in green is test data and the one in blue is training data. Then we are going to run, we have to run ARIMA model. ARIMA model is one of the most frequently used and better efficient time series model. So we have to find out what is the best p-value and q-value for this ARIMA model. That is first thing which we have to do. So what we are doing is that we are randomly running this with assigning which p-value and q-value as 0, and we are running this model multiple times and finding out the output ASC and ASC value. Okay. So we are running first with 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 0, multiple value we are passing, and we are trying to see which one is going to give better value. So finally from here what we can infer is that then we are plotting these diagrams, the kernel density function, a histogram, we are plotting multiple ways. Then finally from all these diagrams and analysis what we can find out is that the best p-value, q-value and best ARIMA model is going to be 210, ARIMA 210. Okay. So what we will do is that we will run the ARIMA model with this particular p-value, q-value which we identified in the previous step. Then using this we will train we will run the model once again. Then we will fit the model. Then we will try to find the summary. Okay. Then we can try to plot the data. We can try to do the prediction. Then we are plotting the data. So this is this diagram. Whatever plotting prediction we have done, this solves the first part of this task, right? So we have taken the time series data, we have fit it to ARIMA model, and we have done the prediction. So the one in blue is the actual data, and the one in black is going to be the future prediction coming out of your ARIMA model. Now if you look at here, this model is blindly taking the data and plotting and giving you an output, right? Prediction. But this diagram will not give you any idea about see, if you look at this diagram, what you can see is that initially during 2000 the stock price was high, but again it went down, again came up, down, up, down, then going up, down, again it is coming up. Okay, but this diagram is blindly telling this is the overall past and this is going to be the future, but this diagram does not give you an idea about why it was fluctuating like this, why it went up here, why it went down again. Okay, So there can be some sort of regional or economical or environmental or some sort of reason which we have to identify. For that, we will go with the second step in this task. So the second step is to do some sort of textual data analysis using sentiment analysis using NLTP data libraries. Okay. Before that is the next step what we are going to do. Basically, in the next step, what we'll try to do is that we are trying to explain why uh, this particular stock price was fluctuating, and there what is the some probable cause for that. Now, before going to the second step, we will just try to do some sort of some more analysis. We will try to showcase some more correlation diagrams, heat maps, and all. Okay. Then we will try to plot the stock price based on the risk factor and expected returns. So if you plot like that, you can see like Amazon is having high risk, but still our returns are also high. Even Apple also risk give comparatively less than Amazon, but still high returns are there. But for IBM, risk is low, but the return is also low. So some okay. Then we just try to do some sort of metrics like mean square error and root mean square error. We find out. So even these values are pretty much decent value. So that gives like our model is reliable. The error is comparatively lower. Now let us go with the sentiment analysis using NLTK libraries and natural language processing. For that, we have downloaded this Times of India news headlines for past 20 years. Okay, this is the headlines. Like if you look at 2000, this is all data. January 1, this was a headline like that. For each day, we have the headlines, the main headlines. Yeah, so this data, when we look at that, we can see like around 3.1 million records are there in three columns. Okay. Then we are trying to find out the top headlines, unique headlines. So we can see there are a couple of unique headlines. So election, assembly, fact, news. There are a couple of headlines. We will go in depth. Okay, then we are doing further processing and seeing which city, how many cities, and all those information. Then we are doing histogram. Then let's come to Ngram analysis. So first we will run the Unigram analysis. We'll try to bring the 20 most frequently occurring unigrams in News India headlines, Times of India headlines. So in this case, what we can see is that India government, BJP, said these are the few keywords which occurred most number of times. Like see, if you look at the keyword India or government, it occurred more times, right? So let us go with diagram analysis. So in diagram analysis, what we can see is that there are multiple keywords like terrorism law, some people dead, shot, militants got killed, Kashmir killed. So there are a couple of insights it is giving. Now let's go with trigram analysis. So the trigram analysis also gives some sort of information, like some people got killed in Rod Mishap, militant killed in Kashmir, remand police custody, someone got remanded in police custody, then Shah Rukh Khan, rupees 2 lakh, killed in road accident. Okay, so if you look at that, this gives an overall sentiment information, like overall idea about why the stock price was fluctuating over the era. So if we combine these two things, what we can do is that we can tell uh, will be able to explain the reason for the fluctuation in the stock price as well as a reliable prediction. Okay, these are the two things which we have done as a part of this task completion for the grip. So basically we have created a hybrid model and done a ARIMA model and numerical analysis we have done. Then we have done a prediction. Then we have done a sentiment analysis using the natural language process. Then we have done Ngram analysis and plotted the output. So with this I have completed the task 7. Okay, thank you for going through my solution.